Someone to meet now who speaks very honestly about the effect gambling has had on his life. Jason Hill from Lincoln has started a petition to ban gambling companies advertising on social media. I asked him when he popped in to see me here at BBC Radio Lincolnshire what and why had made him start gambling.
I don't really know why. It was something kind of a bit like when you play the lottery, you'd have the odd gamble, say there was a sports event or, something. I don't know how it started. It was kind of, it was weird. It was kind of something that I'd done, and I dabble every now and then.
So was it doing the lottery? Is that what it was?
I wouldn't say it was a lottery itself, but if there was like a sports event and because of my job, you speak to a lot of people. When there's a lot of people discussing something, say
Grand National,
like Grand National, or if the local football team were doing well, even though I don't support football, it's something that a lot of people then go, oh, I'm going to have a bet on this or something like that. It was, you go, oh, maybe I'll do that.
Because they potentially said we had some success and I made 20 quid last week by putting a bet on, and you think, hang on, that could be that could be handy, wouldn't it?
So it's not something I would then intentionally go, oh, I must do this, I must do that, but then it was never really seen as something I would always do, and for some reason over the past couple of years, maybe a bit longer, it was kind of during that period you kind of go dark on what you remember, and you kind of turn into a different person. So it's like a Dr. Jekyll and Hyde thing. When you make decisions, you don't always make them intentionally.
Where were you gambling? Were you going into betting offices to gamble?
No, it was mostly on smartphone, because it literally is. I personally, looking back at it now, it's too easy to gamble on your smartphone. You can go into, say, the App Store or Google Play Store, and you can search for a betting app, and reams of them come up, and you can just sign into them, set up an account, and away you go.
So from potentially occasional gambling, how did it develop? Did you get to a situation where you were gambling every day?
I think I had one big win, and I think, if I remember rightly, I can't remember what game it was. Lincoln were playing a game at work. Loads of people, customers, were speaking about it. I thought, oh, I'll have a go at that. So I did, and won £1,000. And
for how much of a bet?
I can't remember what I put down. It may have been. I can't honestly say how much I put down.
I'm trying to think how much you were prepared to gamble at these different stages. Was it £5, £10, or
I would say it would have probably been less than 100. Which still obviously was
it's
a risk.
A lot of money.
It is, yes.
£100.
It would have been possibly less than that, but at the time,
could you afford to do that? Could you afford to lose £100?
Probably not. No, and that's the scary thing about it when you look back at it. It's silly decisions, and you regret doing them, and it's only when you kind of look back at it you regret everything you've done.
So you have a big win. You win your £1,000.
Gives you that confidence, and unfortunately gives you that bravado as such of, oh, maybe I could win a bit more, maybe I could do this, and then I would probably not do something. That was probably in the early days.
Did anybody know that you were betting? Did you talk about betting with anybody?
Not really, no.
Were you in a relationship at the time?
I was, yes.
Okay. And did the person that you were in a relationship with know about betting and what you were doing?
Probably not that I started as more of. Probably I'd maybe mentioned I was a bit of a big win, and pay off some debts, general.
But I'm assuming that the £1,000 didn't last very long because you were gambling it away again. You were betting it.
I think, it pretty much spiraled out of control.
When did you realise there was a problem, or did somebody else realise there was a problem?
It was more. It was not long after getting married, maybe July, August, maybe a bit later. Friends noticed that I wasn't me. They said, you were a different person. You were angry easily, snappy, reclusive, quiet, when normally I'd be very, very open, and especially with my job, I'm always speaking to people, even people you don't know. So I'm always that type of person. I can speak about anything and everything.
And so you become secretive.
Yeah, and basically
withdrawn.
Withdrawn, and they noticed I wasn't me. And for instance, me and a bunch of friends would go on random mountain biking around the Lincoln area and things like that. And when interacting with them, I wasn't me, and they could tell that. And I would get wound up over silly things, and so then that's when they noticed there was obviously a problem. I wasn't. So one friend said, "Oh, should we go to the pub?" And I got to the pub, and loads of other friends were there, and it was kind of like an intervention, really. And they said, "Look, you're not you. What's going on? Why aren't you you? Something is the matter. It's getting to all of us, and we can tell."
Do you feel that you were becoming obsessed with the gambling? Was it taking over your life?
I would say the gambling and the consequences of took over, because by the time they realised how I was and confronted me, I'd already got into that hole. I'd already got into that debt, and it was to the point where it dawned on me on what I'd done and what I needed to fix.
Was it having an effect on your relationship? You say you were newly married.
Yes, my wife noticed I wasn't me as well, and my friends had spoken to her, and everyone had noticed, but they put it down because we recently got married. They thought maybe it was the stress of setting the wedding up and everything like that, and I just needed to kind of calm down. But then when it didn't, they were like, "Hang on a minute, something isn't right."
Were you getting stressed because you'd gambled money away that you could have done other things with? Was that part of the stress?
I think it was realising that I'd gambled and couldn't afford to get out of the situation I put myself into, and also stressing about how am I going to fix it, how am I going to, the dawning of what I'd done, and it was really affecting and stressing me out, because you start thinking of things of maybe my wife's better off without me, maybe it's what have I done. You just constantly, it's going around your head, it's always chipping away at you.
You were in a bad place, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
How recently was this?
It probably started to get really bad, about April, May time. It started affecting me more.
Of last year?
Yes.
And how seriously in debt did you get?
Probably into over 20,000. So it's a silly astronomical amount. Through betting, you'd win something, then you'd bet again, and then you'd lose, and you're like, "Oh, I need to get my money back." And it's a vicious circle. And as much as I regret what I've done, you don't realise what you're doing. You get sucked in. It's like, if you tell a toddler, "Don't run across that road," they'll want to go and do it. So when you look at all these apps and the betting apps and the emails you're getting and all the things you're seeing on social media, all of the adverts on TV, between everything and anything, a lot of TV channels have betting things on late night when so you can turn on the TV, you can go online, you can, everywhere you look, there's a betting advert, you can win this, you can do this, you can do this, and it's overwhelming.
And when you're at £20,000 in debt, you're thinking, well, I can't earn that money and get myself out of the debt. Gambling could be the answer, but it obviously wasn't.
No, by the time I got to that point, it well and truly hit me. I had stopped, I'd physically gone, right, no more, I can't do any more. And I was more stressed and upset with wanting to fix what I had done. And that's what kind of got worse. It's the aftermath after it that, I'd obviously realised what I'd done, and I knew that it was something that's not repairable.
Did you tell your wife at that time?
Once my friends had noticed and my wife had noticed, I sat down and I told them everything, which was obviously a big shock to the system, to friends, family, and my wife. By that point, I realised I needed to be open, I needed to be honest, and I needed to fix the situation, because I was in a bad place, and it wasn't good at all.
Where are you now? Are you in a better place now?
Now I'm in a better place mentally. I'm in a better place because of the support I'm receiving from friends, from family, from my wife, even from work. Work colleagues and my boss, and even other managers in my role have all kind of spoken to me and expressed what their own experiences in life, and especially with raising this petition. In my eyes, I saw that the gambling adverts and everything were everywhere, and for someone like me that has done what I've done, I wouldn't want anyone else to go into that situation. But I'd also realised that I wanted to do something about it to help me help myself.
How old are you?
31.
31. It's scary, isn't it? It's frightening, because you must think, okay, I've been through this. I've come out the other side, thankfully. There'll be other people going through this that won't come out the other side as well as you have, because they won't have friends, they won't have relationships and be able to talk it through.
I've had friends, I've had people online and other people tell me that people have taken their lives, have done things it has gone too far, and I can openly say I did contemplate it. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all.
The petition, you basically wanted to get this message across that gambling is too easy. It's too easy to place a bet.
Yes, yeah. With this, even though I'm trying to sort it out, and you know, I've told all friends and family, and they're assisting me as much as possible, and you know, I'm trying to fix what I've done. I kind of also wanted to do something where I felt that I could just do something in return, to not just to help people, because it was every time, you know, you're looking online and it is everywhere, and it is too much.
Are you still tempted?
In the back of the head, you do get the odd, oh, that looks good, but because of the support and what friends and family are doing and what I've done from the experience, I'm going, well, no, it's something that's always there. Hence why I've had people say you need to keep up with, you know, keep up talking to people, keep up. You know, I'm going to start attending meetings. There is meetings in Lincoln which I'm going to start attending to try and better myself.
If people want to know more about the petition, where's the best place to go to find that?
It is online on, I think it's change.org, and the title of it is Stop Gambling Adverts on Social Media and YouTube Videos.
I'm pleased you're in a better place, and you know, I hope you go on to carry on with the message. You want to stop other people going through what you've been through.
Well, exactly. To me, it is too easy to gamble online on your phone, because you know, you can just change all the different people you can go to for that. Obviously, the government's doing it where they're not going to let you use a credit card on gambling websites, which that's a good move, but obviously a little bit too late for me, unfortunately. But it's definitely a move in the right direction. I personally think there should be a stronger cap, because when you are in that position, you know, where gambling is a problem, yes, they put the adverts of when the fun stops, stop. But when you're in that position, you don't think of that. You ignore it. You don't even think of that. You're too mindset. You're too focused into what you're doing, and you change as a person. And I didn't like the person I'd become. It wasn't me. And it's only when you look back you realise how much it was affecting everything. And you know, you realise how bad a mistake it is, financially and mentally, and obviously with relationships to friends and family.
Really interesting. Jason came in to see me in the studio and just wanted to share his story with me. If you need help or support, the BBC Action Line can put you in touch with a number of organisations. If you call us here at BBC Radio Lincolnshire for more details, we'll put you in touch. Just give us a call on the usual number, 08000 665 949. That's 08000 665 949. We'll give you more details. We're going to chat with the Chief Executive of Break Even, a gambling charity which has support groups in Lincolnshire. We'll do that in just a moment as well.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire Travel.
We're still looking very congested in both directions through Becking.